Hello, you lovely listeners. I'm Amy. Welcome to the Really Good Conversations podcast, where we will delve into the minds of the business people we have met in the process of launching our first card game. We will be uncovering their secrets to success, their biggest mistakes, and sharing the key lessons they have picked up en route. So, if you're looking for an engaging chinwag mixed with business insights and a good pinch of fun, you're in the right place. Let's have a really good conversation. Welcome to the Really Good Conversations podcast. Today I am joined in person with Peter Anthony. Peter is an author, speaker and master in professional communication with over 20 years experience helping individuals and corporations achieve better outcomes through the power of effective collaboration. Welcome, Peter.
G'day, Amy. How are you going?
I'm very well, thank you. This is very exciting to actually get a chance to chat to you and in person because a lot of my guests are remote. So this is a pretty cool experience.
Well, I'm not remote today. I'm right here alongside you.
I know, practically on each other's knee. Now, you, by complete chance, came into my world, if you will, only like sort of 2 weeks ago or so.
That's right, yeah.
And I just couldn't believe as we were talking and you started to say the line of work you're in and the fact you have a book all about the magic of collaborative conversations.
That's right.
And I said, Peter, do you know that we have this card game called Really Good Conversations? Obviously you didn't. And hence, has prompted me to invite you on this podcast because I just thought the universe had sent us to have a conversation on this topic. So tell our listeners a little bit of a backstory to you and what inspired you to actually write a book on the magic of collaborative conversations.
Well, the book is partly my wife's fault, Amy, partly her fault. Our family was expanding quite exponentially about 20 years ago. And I was traveling around the world and I was running sales programs. I was teaching people to sell things, mainly in business-to-business environments. And I was finding that selling wasn't working. I was finding even I didn't believe what I was teaching to the people I was teaching it to. And I was sitting in an airport lounge in Cairo, Egypt, thinking about selling and thinking about sales conversations. And I thought, this selling thing's not working. I wonder if I did the opposite of selling, whether that would work. Oh. And I thought, well, the opposite of selling to somebody would be collaborating with them. And then on the trip between Cairo and Manchester, which is where my next workshop was, bizarrely enough, in the north of England, I was just thinking, I was writing ideas for this program out, and I was thinking, there's probably going to be a magic in a collaborative conversation. And I started thinking like abracadabra, yeah, that's magic. Well, maybe my program's going to be called Collaboradabra, the magic of collaborative conversations. And I started teaching that idea in Manchester. Now we're talking 20 years ago at least.
Wow.
And that idea developed into a workshop on collaborative conversations called Collaboradabra. And that workshop became a book, which I wrote a couple of years later, which is really cool. Yeah. And then I met you a little while ago, and you say, "Hey, I've got this business called Really Good Conversations." And so, well, I've got collaborative conversations. Let's have a conversation about conversations.
Wow. And to highlight, the fact that you were working in this world, if you will, 20 odd years ago, and the importance of conversation, the importance of collaboration. And it does feel like almost we're coming back to it right now, where we are now to really reinforce the importance of conversations. Because I don't know if we've gone or what your view is, if we've just been in a period of time where with the internet, we've all just jumped on the internet to communicate, and perhaps we lost some of that human interaction. And it's obviously for us where we are today, it feels
absolutely
more important than ever.
It is more important than ever. And what I'd suggest to listeners is if they think about their relationships in their life, their personal relationships, their business relationships, their relationships with their children, the quality of your relationship is the quality of your conversations. So high quality relationships means high quality conversations, which is why I love your business and what you're doing, because you're encouraging people to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And the most recent Pew research I saw on conversations suggested that we've never had fewer conversations in recorded history, and we've never been less likely to change our opinions after talking to somebody.
Wow.
So we're talking less
Yeah.
and agreeing less, which concerns me.
Yes, absolutely.
It concerns me because I like conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, in the book, there's 6 moments that matter.
Yes.
What are those 6 moments? Can you share
Wow,
them?
all 6 moments in one go. Well, yeah, there are 6 moments that matter, and if you're thinking of a high quality collaborative conversation where you both get better outcomes than you could by yourself, which is what collaboration is all about. The first moment that matters happens before the conversation takes place, which is having a goal. Right. So you're thinking, like, I'm meeting with you, having a conversation with you, Amy. I'm thinking, well, what's my goal in this conversation? And the goal's going to relate to one of 3 things. Changing how you're thinking, like teaching you something, or changing how you're thinking about something, as I'm doing now, or changing what you're doing, changing your behavior in some way, some beneficial way to you, or changing how you're feeling, like helping you feel more comfortable, or maybe more secure, or more loved, or more happy, or whatever that might be. So I'm thinking about that before the conversation takes place. And that gives the conversation direction. Because what I'm not a big fan of is randomly talking about anything that comes up. That can be useful, but what's more useful is having a goal. And that's the first moment that matters. So I care enough about you and our relationship and our conversation to be thinking about a goal of benefit to you before the conversation takes place. That's moment number 1. And that's when the collaboration starts, before I even start talking to you. And you'll feel that. You'll get a sense of that. You know when you're with someone that cares about you. Because you get a sense that, hey, this person cares. This person's getting my attention. This person's thought about this conversation before it takes place. Like it hasn't just got to be a business sense. You can I think about having a conversation with my wife, and I think the goal I have is I'd like her to feel treasured. I'd like her to feel as treasured as she is in my life. And if I go in with that intention, she's going to feel that, and I'm going to do things to make her feel treasured. Yeah. So you can think about personal life, romantic life. In business life, you can be thinking about the same thing, having a goal for the conversation before the conversation takes place. That's moment number 1. But there's 5 more. There's 5 more moments. Would you like another one?
Yes, please. Tell them. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Another moment. So that's moment number 1. And ideally, and if you're working with people regularly, or with people regularly, it's good to share these ideas with them. So you're both collaborating using the same moments, if you like. The second moment that takes place is when you're first face to face with the person, or I guess virtually with the person, when the conversation starts. That's when you begin relating or building rapport. And the interesting thing about building rapport is it's all about attention. It's all about attention. So, like, I'm giving you my full attention right now. My attention's not with anything else apart from you, and you can feel that, right?
Yeah.
You get a sense of attention, right? And if you think about the shortcut of it to attention or rapport, it's listening until you disappear. So you listen to them until you disappear. So all your stuff, all your ideas, all your objectives, all your goals, all your intent, all that stuff all disappears, and you give them your full attention until you disappear. Right? And they're going to feel that. They're going to get a sense of that. And the really interesting thing, it'll be of benefit to them because they'll feel that sense of attention, and they'll rarely get that in their lives. If you give someone your full attention, it's pretty rare to get it.
Yes, because you can sense it when the person you're speaking to is off trailing somewhere else.
Yeah, and it feels a bit weird. And it does feel strange when you get it, because you so rarely get it. Get someone's full attention. And a couple of magic things will happen. They'll feel great. And they'll feel treasured and respected in the conversation. But the interesting thing is that you'll get a lot of nonverbal cues and clues back from them, because we all know that most communication's happening non-verbally. In fact, Carl Jung said it brilliantly when he said our conscious mind is like a cork that bobs on the ocean of the subconscious. So the conscious words people are using is the cork, and the rest is the ocean. So if you want the ocean to communicate with you, you give them your full attention. All those subconscious cues and clues get communicated back to you. So you get a sense of them, get a sense of how they're thinking and how they're feeling, and they give you the cues and clues as to what to do next. It's quite magic when you do it. You just disappear and let the subconscious take over. That's moment number 2. And it's really cool when it happens.
And number 3?
She wants more. I want more. I don't want 2. I want 6. So number 3 is taking the lead, which is what you did very well at the beginning of the podcast, which is giving, not leading as in terms of dominating, but leading in terms of giving the conversation some structure. And you're leading or giving the conversation some structure by answering the 4 primary questions the person has, which is, why is the conversation taking place? Question number 1. Or it could be, who are you? But assuming they know who you are first, right? Assuming that's the case. So why is the conversation taking place is number 1. Number 2 is like, what outcome are we after here? Because I mentioned in moment number 1, you're thinking about an outcome. So you're giving the conversation a direction. That's the outcome you're asking them to agree to. The third part is how do you suggest we get to the outcome? Like, what's our agenda or structure for the conversation going to be? As you shared with me before the podcast, which is really cool. And the final one is, so what's going to be next? Like, because I'm assuming this conversation is part of a relationship. And I mentioned earlier, the quality of your conversations is the quality of your relationship. So you think, okay, there are other parts of this relationship that this conversation is contributing to. You can think of it as like a commitment curve that moves from, say, bottom left to top right, where over a period of time you are increasing the intensity and level of your commitment to the relationship and achieving outcomes with that person through achieving high quality outcomes each conversation that you have. So you're building commitment, and as you're building commitment, you're building relationship and you're building outcome, and you're achieving more together and enjoying the process. Because high quality relationships are the stuff of life, right?
Yes.
Even the most introverted people I work with, I do a bunch of psychometrics. I know some very introverted people. Even very introverted people love relationships. They just have fewer of them and they go deeper. Right? Yeah. So that's moment number 3, like to take the lead, give it some structure and ask for permission to do that, to make sure that's the sort of outcomes that they're after too. I'm not telling you this is the outcome. I'm just suggesting it to you, and you and I can agree on a different outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we get more high quality outcomes together we both want, we get better. We have better collaborative conversations and our relationship builds. So we achieve more and we enjoy the process, which is part of what makes it magical.
And I can certainly see where this was all resonating, as you said, you started the career in sales.
Yeah.
Of this sort of, working together, collaborative for the same goals, for the same outcomes.
Yeah, and it's bizarre. It's really bizarre, Amy, because if you think, and I remember my very first job out of university was at IBM. I was selling and I was a salesperson. Back in the days then, that they gave you a year of sales training, right? And they gave you like an old school mentor that like mentored you. Like he took me under his wing and we started selling together, and they gave you 2 weeks in the branch, like in the office, and 2 weeks in training, in sales training. And Rod and I, my mentor and I, we were selling a lot together. And the more sales training I did, the less I sold. And Rod, my mentor, said, Peter, can you stop doing that stuff? It doesn't work, right?
Wow.
And you just think about this. You think about this. If you feel like you're being sold to, right, what do?
You sort of retract, you pull back.
Yeah, you pull back. You pull back a bit from the person. You get cynical about what they're saying, and you think, well, my job if I'm buying is to put downward pressure on prices, and I want to get a good deal, right? So you get cynical, distant, and cheap. Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm selling to you, that's the relationship I'm asking you to have with me, right? That's why selling doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't work, right? So. And that's why I developed this approach, which does work.
Yes.
Which does work, and it's more enjoyable. It's more genuine too.
Yeah.
It's more genuine. You feel like it's something that I'd like to be engaged in. I'd like to do this. I'd like to give people high quality outcomes, build great relationships, and enjoy the process, or die trying. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or die trying.
Absolutely.
That's moment number. Where are we up to? 3. I'm not sure I should give you any more, Amy.
Yeah, well, it's up to you. Or we can tell people they have to go and find the book.
I'm happy. There's a lot more in the book. I'm happy to because.
So moment number 4.
Moment number 4 is understanding. This is the biggest moment. Because if I'm looking to develop the relationship and achieve something better with you, I'm asking you to make a decision about something, right? Like to understand something or to do something different or feel different. So you're deciding to do something differently with me, right? So I need to understand how you make decisions, right?
Yeah.
I need to understand you.
I can be quite indecisive.
You can be.
Yes.
You can be. We can all be indecisive, right, in different areas of our lives. So you think, well, how do I make a decision, or how am I indecisive? And we talked there about the 4 or 5 aspects of how decisions are made. Like you'll have like decision-making values. Like they usually focus on things like relationship, power, security, reward, those sorts of things, right? I need to know those things. Because if we're going to work on something that's going to work for you, no matter what environment that might be in, make sure they either fit those criteria or I might need to change something about one of those criteria if I've got an idea or a suggestion that you're not aware of yet. And particularly in the B2B environments I work in, often the people doing the selling have got a product or a service or an idea that is new and unique and different in a very special way. So I might need to change those criteria. So that's moment number, what are we up to?
That was 4.
That was 4.
So next moment number 5.
There's 2 more. There's 2 more. Bargain.
Can you still remember them?
Of course I can. So number 5 is making a recommendation, right? Or suggesting something to you, recommending, and that can be consistent with those decision-making values, or they might need to change, right? They might need to change in a beneficial way. And when they need to change, we need to look at like really digging in quite deeply about what those criteria are and what they mean. And finally, we're agreeing, because when I make my recommendation, you're going to give me one of 3 answers, correct? If I suggest something to you, what are your 3 potential answers?
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, or maybe, right? Yes, no, well, maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. So if it's a yes, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. If it's a no, that's great too, because I want to get no on the table early. If there's absolutely no chance, I want to know that. If it's a maybe, I need to do a simple negotiating process, a collaborative negotiating process, to work out a way to see whether I can translate that maybe into a yes that's worth having for both of us. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the agreement part.
Yeah, nice.
Which might be a separate conversation. This might not all happen in one conversation.
Yeah.
Might be 2 or 3 conversations, not just one. But the great thing about collaborative conversations is, number 1, they're enjoyable. Number 2, you're both always achieving something in the conversation. So it's hard to waste time having a collaborative conversation. In fact, when I ask my business clients, I say, how many useful or productive meetings and conversations do you have at work? And they usually say, about half.
Wow.
Or even less. The rest are like waste of time, right?
Yeah.
They don't achieve anything. You think, well, if you took on these collaboration guidelines, because you can do this in meetings as well as one-on-one. You can do it in groups of people. And in groups, there's this fantastic idea originally developed by James Starecki, which is called the wisdom of the crowd, right? And his idea is a smart, well-formed team makes a smarter decision than its smartest member, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
So if you collaborate in a group and use these same guidelines, if you're collaborating, that group is going to make a smarter decision than its smartest member can, which is really cool. So you can use these in group situations too. And even if you use them, if you got to 75%, that's an extra 25% of conversations and meetings you're having that are making you more productive and you're enjoying the process, which is the whole idea of being happy and useful.
Yes. And I certainly imagine, there is a lot of meetings for the sake of meetings, we just need to have a catch up. So people put them in the diaries, and then perhaps sometimes it can feel a bit one-sided. There's the expectation, well, so-and-so's called the meeting, so they're going to either present something to me rather than perhaps approaching you in a more collaborative format. All right, there's a meeting in the diary. How do we both make this?
And you can
efficient?
You can ask that. You can even ask that question. I can say, look, we're meeting today, Amy. Just curious about what goal you've got in mind. Because I was thinking of blah as a goal, and how do you think we can get there? Well, I was thinking, how about you share your thoughts on the proposal? I'll share mine, then we can agree on a way forward. Fantastic. So we can start doing that before the conversation even takes place. Which is very cool.
Brilliant. Okay, and Peter, summarise for us, our listeners, then the 6 moments that you've just taken us through in detail.
Okay. You want summary. So moment number 1 is to set a goal for the conversation. Moment number 2 is to relate, build rapport. Moment number 3 is take the lead, give the conversation some structure. Moment number 4 is understanding how they're making decisions, and then you're sharing with them how you make decisions in that space. Number 5 is making a recommendation. And number 6, which is the whole purpose of the conversation, is reaching an agreement that leaves you both better off.
Love it.
Yeah, that's how
I've certainly put you on the spot today to almost recount your whole body of work.
I can remember 6 things.
In a summary.
I can't remember which night's garbage night, but I can remember 6 things.
Now, before we go on to some of the questions that I like to ask from our pack, I guess through your work, what are some of the common challenges that you do see people face when it comes to collaborative conversation?
I think the biggest challenge is people number 1, don't have enough conversations. Number 1, it's more like texting or emailing or doing something other than talking. Number 2, not realising that the close to the number 1 marker for self-reported happiness is quality and depth of relationships. If you ask people what makes you happy, it's usually quality and depth of relationships, and the quality of the relationships is the quality of the conversations. So you're offering them something that's going to make their lives demonstrably better and help make them happier. So think about it that way, and think about feeling great by doing well, by creating really positive change in the world. No matter what role you might be in an organisation, you're thinking, well, if I've got an internal role, I want to make a high-quality contribution internally in my company, right? Whatever role I might have. Or if I've got an external-facing role, I'm thinking I want to make a high-quality contribution to my clients. Now, the higher quality contribution you can make to others and the better the relationships you can build, the better you're going to make their lives and the better you're going to feel through achieving great outcomes with them. So it's a no-lose.
Yeah.
I used to call it a win-win. I like to call it a no-lose rather than just sitting back bashing out emails.
Yeah.
Or bashing out text messages. Yeah. Because then you say g'day, then I get a chance to meet people like Amy and go on her awesome podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have these random chance meetings.
If I didn't say g'day, this wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely.
Which is very cool.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing all those insights. That has really been fascinating. And cool. I know we could dig deeper in so many of those topics that you've even touched on in a lot of what you do in your work. But yeah, I hope the listeners have really taken some insightful nuggets from there. And I think there's quite a lot of nuggets. Yeah, you do love to bring my northern accent into it. But I am now going to ask you a couple of questions from our really good conversation for kids too, Pat.
For kids? I got the kids one, did I?
You did, you did. I thought, a bit of fun, creativity.
Well, I've got kids.
Question number 1.
Yes.
What is something new you would like to try?
Something new? Something new I'd like to try. Wow, that's a great question. Something new I'd like to try would be deep sea marlin fishing off the coast of Queensland. I think it'd be fun to throw a line off the back and catch one of those really big fish. That would be and then chuck it back in the water, obviously.
Yeah,
that'd be something.
You can actually do this off in Sydney because Alex and I did it many years ago.
There's not as many fish here, though, Amy.
Oh, don't say that.
You know what the fishermen say? You know what? Fish where the fish are.
Yes.
There's not many big fish off the coast of Sydney, where I live, or where we live. It's got to go to northern Queensland. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting you even just touched on where you live, because question number 2, what is the best thing about the place where you live?
What is the best thing? I think the best thing about the place I live, which is the northern beaches of Sydney. I was born in Manly Hospital. In fact, my parents met in Manly, which is very cool. The best thing about it is the quality of the people and the beautiful northern beaches. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Awesome, because obviously you've done quite a lot of travel over your personal and professional career. Have you been tempted to live in any of these other locations around the world? No. I've worked in US, China, Japan, Korea, UK, Egypt, all over Asia. I love visiting places. Like I was back in London again, 2 years ago working. I love visiting, and I really treasure them as places to visit, and they've all got awesome things to show you. But this is the place I want to live. Amazing.
I love it here. Plus all my friends are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Brilliant.
mates. Yeah.
Question number 3.
Yes.
If you could be any age for a day, what age would you choose and why?
If I could be any age for a day.
So you could be younger, you could be older, you could be your current age.
I would be, what would I be? What age would I be? I would be 19.
Oh, yeah.
And
pre-kids, potentially.
Pre-kids, pre-wife, pre-kids.
No responsibilities.
No responsibilities. And I would decide to finish the law degree that I started with my economics degree.
Wow.
I didn't finish it, and I should have finished it. It was a bit of a silly thing. To not finish that degree. I got a bit distracted at uni, and I didn't finish the second degree. So I'd like to not have the distraction and to finish the degree.
Well, there's still time. You could revisit it now. I could pick it up now.
I could have been a lawyer instead.
That wouldn't have been as fun, perhaps.
It wouldn't have been as fun, no.
We wouldn't be having fun conversations, and you'd be charging me by like the minute.
I would be.
You'd have said, I'll come on your podcast.
I have a wig on and a big gown, and I'd say, objection, Your Honour.
Exactly. Oh, that is so amazing, Peter. Thank you so much for your time today. I've really enjoyed speaking to you.
Pleasure.
How can our listeners find out more about you and your world? Where are you online or in other places?
Where am I? The easy place to find is just peteranthonyconsulting.com. That's the business. Or if you'd like the book, it's in both audio book and ebook and regular book version. It's called Collaboradabra, rhymes with abracadabra. You can find it on Amazon, anywhere where you find books, you'll find it.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, I'll include those links as well in our show notes. And
Please do.
Thank you so much again.
Absolute pleasure, Amy.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to check out the show notes for more information on today's guests. And if really good conversations are your thing, hit subscribe and join us next time for more business journeys, insights and banter.